Hi.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm sitting here with Pastor Billy. We want to take some time to introduce the upcoming EM Forum, getting some of the detail out there, but also I wanted to have Pastor Billy share his heart behind this upcoming forum.
Thank you, Paul. So on February 11th through the 13th, 2025, we're going to have I believe it's actually the 11th PCA EM Forum. And it's going to be in Korean Central Presbyterian Church, along with Christ Central Presbyterian Church, who meet at the same location in Centreville, Virginia, with the theme of raising up leaders. The speakers for the EM Forum is, first of all, on the first evening, we have Bryan Chapell, who's the stated clerk of the PCA, and also a very well-known writer and professor and preacher.
Yeah.
And we have Chris Vogel, who is the M&A director or coordinator for church planting and vitality. And he's coming because his thing is actually really helping presbyteries and churches to kind of focus on raising up leaders. And so he used to have a ministry called Next Gen Pastor, where his whole thing was on this theme of raising up the next generation of leaders. And Dwight, who's Korean American, and he he just recently stepped down from his role as a pastor of Renewal Presbyterian Church, and now serving as a network leader in the Philly area, I think, with the church planting movement.
Great guy. Yeah, I went to school with him. Dwight, looking forward to seeing you, hanging out with you. Yeah, he's a great guy. He just devoted much of his life, just investing not just in the local church, but he's great heart for the next generation as well. So, looking forward to spending time with you, brother. I think we have a great venue this time around with KCPC and CCPC hosting together. So shout out to David Moon, who's been helping. Also, Owen, thanks for your generosity, both of you. Really appreciate it. Appreciate your support. So that's sort of basic information. How about, I always love to hear personally your heart behind these EM forums, right? At least in your mind, there always seems to be this intentional effort to not just mobilize and gather people, but behind every theme, right? There's like a pastoral heart. And so can maybe share some of that?
Yeah, just overall, the PCA EM Forum, began out of really a burden, the burden that I had for myself, like as a pastor, sometimes feeling a little more isolated and wanting to connect with other pastors, and that not really being an opportunity for that. And so, our purpose of the EM Forum is really three-pronged. There's a three-pronged purpose of connecting people. The first is connecting pastors to pastors, especially Korean American pastors. It's not only for Korean American pastors, but sort of our target center would be the Korean American pastor who most often is more isolated in their work and having a hard time finding peer groups and so forth. And so that is a special target for us, or outreach for us. And so connecting pastor to pastor, but also bringing leaders of the PCA, and that's why Bryan Chapell and other PCA leaders have been invited, so that Korean American pastors who often feel like they're serving in the shadows of the PCA, that they are having an opportunity to engage with the leaders, sort of the higher up leaders of the PCA. And so connecting Korean American pastors to PCA sort of the system of the PCA, of the leadership of the PCA, and so to engage, to learn, as well as for them, the leadership of the PCA really want to know about how to bring the Koreans or Korean Americans more involved in the PCA. So they very much are eager to want to meet with us, and I've gotten great responses from the denominational leaders in wanting to be part of the PCA and support or a PCA EM Forum, to support the PCA EM Forum, because they see this as really an opportunity for them to learn. And the other is, sometimes you might not be the lonely pastor all by yourself, but sometimes there are local networks of pastors gatherings that, might be only for people who went to certain seminaries or of certain parts. But one of my vision, which hopefully we can pursue more, is that we can connect like networks to networks. So there are people who are, whether it's the California network or people from California or, the CFC. There was a lot of people who used to come from CFC when they had it multi-staff. People from Georgia. We have our pastoral network. We're not isolated per se, but our network to connect with other networks. Paul, your group, your staff, and just kind of, you're not alone, but then to engage with one another and find like-minded people, find out where we can work together and partner together. So that's been a really important aspiration, actually, for me to see the EM Forum, like not just be connecting pastor to pastor, Korean American pastor to the leadership of the PCA, and then also like within the networks that we have, that we can somehow like get to know each other, collaborate together, where we might be different, that we can still serve the kingdom, in a way that it's not contentious. Yeah.
I think we need to clarify though. Is this just for Korean Americans, and is this just for pastors?
Yeah.
Can you offer some clarity there?
Well, I said yeah, but I don't mean yeah. It's a good question. So the PCA EM Forum is, you can say, in one sense, you can say it's for the Korean American pastor, but over the years we kind of didn't want to lose that target, but broaden it to be more welcoming. So if you want to say it's for PCA and friends, it's for Korean Americans and friends. So in a sense, and then it's for pastors and leaders. So we're trying to really reach out to not just pastors, have this be a pastors conference, but we really see, or I would like to see, just a strengthening of our lay leadership in our churches, as there are more EM churches, EM style churches. So yes, I mean, you can say it is for PCA Korean American pastor. That's sort of our core group. But within that, to be welcoming to others who find affinity with us, right? So who find commonality. So, someone who might not be in the PCA, but share many of the distinctives of the PCA, or theologically find a connection to the PCA. But if someone like hates the PCA and has a completely different theological view, it would not be something that would be for them. Yeah. But then, so it's PCA and friends, Korean American, Asian American, and friends.
Yeah, I think anyone who is in like an immigrant church context would benefit.
Exactly.
Right? Because our struggles are their struggles. And so.
And we've had Vietnamese pastors who've come. We've had, Chinese Americans. And so we've had Caucasians who've come participate. And, I've heard great feedback from them. They feel welcome. They don't feel, that it's and friends. So we don't want to lose certain distinctives of the things that we're doing, but it's not exclusively so. And the way I put it is, it's the and friends.
Okay. In case our viewers missed it, the theme is raising up leaders, but leaders, it doesn't simply mean pastors, right? But elders, deacons, but also lay leaders. Yeah. And so Pastor Billy's heart behind it is really to strengthen the whole church and every member. Right?
Absolutely. Yes. And about just the theme, the raising up leaders, it's you can think of it as raising up leaders, like the next generation of leaders, the younger people, and definitely we have that in view as well. But raising up leaders also includes current leaders to be built up. But for me, the leaders aspect, we're kind of thinking of it not just pastors, also just the leadership in the church that includes both pastor and elder, particularly. If you're in the PCA, or if you're thinking about joining the PCA, I welcome you to consider coming to the PCA EM Forum this February 11th through the 13th, 2025 in Centreville, Virginia.
Early registration is by December 15th. You'll get a pretty good discount there. If you really are low on funds, there are scholarship opportunities. All you got to do is privately text or email Pastor Billy, and he'll figure something out.
Yeah, we try to keep the cost really low, so and very reasonable. So, but if even that is a real difficulty for you, please contact me. I do encourage that, and usually I do give scholarships to people and let them come for free often. So please contact me. But if you have money, don't do that. Yeah. So if you're a pastor, if you're an elder, or even we've had some deacons come as well, ordained deacons. If you're in the DC area, in Maryland or Virginia or Philadelphia area, I encourage you to come join us for this year's EM Forum.
Hope to see you there.